Hi, ma'am. Can you tell us a little about yourself and the area that you practice in? Yeah.
Uh, I'm Ritu Kumar and I'm an advocate with Human Rights Law Network. I've been for last 8 or 9 years focusing a lot on prison rights work, and I'm coordinating the prison rights work where we try to build a campaign around improving the conditions in the prisons and doing cases, litigations around that. And we've also been working in the Supreme Court through some of the ongoing cases to try to uh, improve the conditions in prisons across the country.
Where do you hail from? Where did you study? Can you tell us a little about like your education?
I'm from Dehradun, and I had a normal, studied in convent school, and then went to college, where like any normal child, I did not really think of any of this human rights stuff. But then I think after my college, uh, somehow my thinking started a little bit. I started changing, and then I started looking at other things a little differently when I got into I somehow got into involved in disability work. I started working with NGOs, etc. And that was my first exposure to something where I very closely saw the struggles of people. So I think that's where a little shift happened.
What would you term as your learning from these initial cases that you did? Because with the kind of work that you do, there are a lot of it's very emotionally taxing. What is Can you share a little your experience in that department, like your emotional struggles and your learnings throughout your cases, just on a personal level than professional?
Actually, I didn't initially start with litigation, though I did initially 2 or 3 years of. I worked with a more like a corporate kind of a setup, but I realized that maybe I was not cut out for that, and I felt as if I was not being true to myself when I was defending the other side, where I felt I was not being on the right side of people, where, defending the corporates type of work. So, and already I was working with disability, so I felt I had to be true to myself. So because I had seen the struggles of disabled people very closely. I'd worked with children, disabled children, and started teaching blind children. For some initial 2-3 years, I was teaching when I was studying law along with that, and I could see the struggles. I think that's when I realized that somewhere I had to do something, something which I feel I can justify what my work, and uh, where I can make a difference. So that's how I started in this area.
Can you maybe share a book or two, or even any person that has had a huge impact on you, that has shaped you as a lawyer, as an activist? Any books that maybe we should read to broaden our insights and our knowledge on any issue that is close to you?
Mm,
Or any person that we should follow to just know more?
uh,
I know it's a tough question.
yeah, I'm not sure I can pinpoint to any books as much as maybe the people. I
Mm-hmm.
can say one or two people who did make a difference in my life. In fact, one was a very close friend who's recently passed away, and did make a difference in my life, and he uh, sort of gave me that strength to go forward in this area. And even though initially, though I felt my family had reservations that I was working in this field, and they did not really understand. But that friend was a big support, and another friend, the two friends, I can say one has just recently passed away, but there's another friend who's now a director of National Association, and she was for the blind, so she also was a big support. So I think yes, so I've met some people along my journey who have sort of shaped and given me that strength to go on.
Just the closing question, in the current prisons right movement, what would you, if you had to just identify certain issues that are rotting the system, what would those be?
Actually, there are many areas where I feel, and the problem with prisons is that it's a very close setup, and as you and me, we do not even think of prison as an issue, because we know that they are criminals, and they're not visible in the society, so nobody really even pays a thought to the plight of prisoners. But in my the years which I have been working on this issue, I have realized that in fact they come from between you and me, and it's not necessarily that they even committed a crime, and even if they have, people make mistakes in their life, so it's not that we can just shun them out of our society, and there has to be a place for everyone to reform. So prisons as a structure, it's a very closed system, and it's very difficult to understand what is going on inside. And it's there are problems of overcrowding, where people, when you have a room where you can have 2 or 3 people, then in fact 4 or 5, 6 people maybe living in that space, they have hardly a space to sleep in, and every second of their day is monitored, what they are doing, or whatever activities they are doing. So it's a kind of, somebody is looking at you at every moment of your day, and so it's in itself a very traumatic experience. And I personally known people who got somehow caught, even though they were actually innocent, and it has disturbed them mentally, and then their family will not accept them, and they go through life totally disoriented. The legal aid system in our country is not very uh, strong for people who do not have the resources, so it is mainly the marginalized sections who get trapped into this whole system, where between the court and the legal battle and their own family lack of support, so it's very difficult for them to come out of it. I mean, the mental trauma, it stays with them.
Thank you so much, ma'am.